Hello, Beefy.
APY.
Huh? What's the matter, Beefy? Oh, should I call the vet, Beefy? Or is something wrong with you? Oh, I get it. You want to tell me about the crazy APYs. Hello and welcome to Caesar's Snack Sandwich. Today we're on Binance Smart Chain taking a look at two protocols actually. We're looking first at beefy.finance because that's what introduced me to this kind of. And beefy.finance has some crazy APYs on this protocol. Now beefy.finance is a yield aggregator, so it uses other protocols in order to gain yield. And in beefy.finance right now, the yields are this much. That's like 500 million APY. 4% a day. That's crazy. Okay, so before we can get into understanding what these vaults do, we should probably understand what the underlying protocol is and what it does. So let's swing over to their website and I'll give you a quick idea. So here is the protocol that it is farming. It is bDollar FI. It's a algorithmic stablecoin, right? Algorithmic stablecoin producer, and there's a lot to it. And I will go through all of the little buttons and stuff here after I explain to you a little bit about what algorithmic stablecoins are, or this one in specific. And here is the beefy vaults that we're talking about, these two blue ones here, as you can see, quite a bit. And, I've deposited a little bit in here because, why not give it a try, okay? So I'm going to swing over to a flowchart and show you a little bit more about how this system works, how these three tokens work and so forth. And then afterwards, I'll come back here and show you a few buttons that you can press and show you what beefy is actually farming. Okay, so let's swing over there now. Okay, so here we are at the flowchart, and this is the bDAO or bDollar, okay, coin. And now it wants to be set and pegged to the $1 US. So 1-to-1, that's its goal, that's its design, that's its feature. Now it's based on the basis token from Ethereum. So if you know all about basis token, maybe you can skip this part. However, there are few key features inside here that you might want to know about that I will explain and I will talk about. Also, if you don't know how the basis works, you can also watch this and you will understand how the basis works, but keep in mind there are slight small differences that I will highlight them and show you when they come around. So we've got one bDAO equals $1 US. And that's the ideal situation, that's the perfect situation, but it doesn't always happen like that. So as people start trading the bDAO dollar on, let's say, PancakeSwap, the price either goes up or down. If people are buying the bDAO, the price goes up. If the people are selling the bDAO, the price goes down. So as we can see here, we've got it set as the ratio. $1 US dollar will buy you 0.9 bDAO. So one bDAO at this point is worth $1.10. So $1.10. The opposite's down here. One bDAO is currently worth 90 cents. So as people sell, the value of bDAO goes down because that's the way markets work. And this is not good. So they have to fix these, okay? So the first thing that they will do is anytime that there is a higher value token, they can simply mint more tokens. So they just mint more and the supply increases and therefore the value will then decrease, okay? Now in this protocol, there is a special key feature here that I mentioned, and that is it will only ever mint 3% of the supply each epoch. Now, one of the other key features here is each epoch is 6 hours, whereas basis is a little bit different. I don't remember, and anyhow, I don't know the time for basis. So every 6 hours is a key feature of this protocol. Now, this protocol is run on Binance Smart Chain, so gas is a lot cheaper, so it doesn't, putting this down doesn't make it so expensive to mint tokens and so forth. So they will mint some tokens until they get back to 1-to-1. That's the idea of this, minting a bunch of tokens. Now who gets these tokens? I will talk about it after. So let's say the bDAO is worth less, right? 90 cents. And we want to increase the value of tokens. We need to burn some tokens. But, the protocol can't just burn people's tokens. So they have to actually ask people, hey, you want to burn your tokens for us? So that if you burn the tokens, then the value will decrease. okay? Oh, sorry, increase. And the value will go back to $1 because it's at 90 cents right now. So by burning tokens, they can put it back to the 1-to-1 peg, okay? Now, how are they going to burn people's tokens? This is important. So they're going to ask you if you want to use your B from your wallet to buy some bonds, okay? So if you buy a bond, then you're burning those tokens, okay? The tokens you use to buy bonds are burnt. So once the price of bDAO is less than $1, then you can buy these bond tokens. That's how the protocol works, okay? Now, what do these bonds do? Is like, let's say you bought the bond at 90 cents, but it's 1 bDAO is equal to 1 bond later. So later, when the value of this returns or goes above one, then you can redeem these bonds for 1-to-1 for bDAO tokens, or dollar tokens, these dollar tokens. So 1 bond is equal to 1 bDO token, okay? Another key feature of this protocol is these never expire. I believe Basis has like a 3-week, 4-week, I can't remember. It has some sort of expiration date, so it becomes a risk. However, there is no risk. It will eventually, hopefully, go back to $1 or above, and you can redeem these for $1, okay? Now, there's another key feature. Where are these dollars when they come? They have to be redeemed, right? Where are they going to come from? They're going to come from new minting. Because like I said, when this goes above $1, then they mint new tokens. Who gets the tokens? The people who redeem bonds, okay? When you redeem a bond, you get these tokens that are minted in order to bring it back down to 1. So that's why these bond tokens are only redeemable when the supply or the value is above 1. So that because it needs to mint tokens to give to these guys, okay? Now there's a whole bunch of time locks on this protocol, and one of them is the redeeming of these tokens. You won't get them instantly. I don't know, I can't remember the time. We would have to reread the Medium article and find that out, okay? So reread the Medium article and you can find that out. There's another place where these tokens can go. Let's say there's not enough bonds out that these tokens do, they fulfill all the bonds, all the bonds are redeemed, but there's still tokens left over. Who gets those, right? These are people who have share tokens, bDAO shares, and they have them staked in the boardroom, in the protocol themselves. So they've staked these tokens and they're locked in for a certain amount of time. When we go to the UI, we'll see this lock-in phase as well. And when you lock them in, then you will get these extra tokens. Now, currently it's kind of just sticking around here because it's a new one. It's not really going down. People are not selling it. So there's a whole bunch of tokens getting minted and sent to these share tokens. So this share price is kind of quite volatile and can go up quite a bit as long as these are, highly minted. There's a lot getting minted and there's not too many shares. Then the shares will be quite valuable. Now the shares are going up in value, but I expect them to go down as well as they get all out and the thing stabilizes and there's a lot less buying of this token. Okay, so right now there's a whole bunch of farming of this token. This token's being farmed a lot because they're trying to emit it and give it out and send it out to everybody. Okay, now there's one more key aspect. This token here is the token that will be used to vote on the protocol itself. So changes of certain things. Maybe they want to change this 3% to 4%, or maybe they want to change the epoch to 7 hours or 10 hours, whatever. This is the type of thing that this token will be voted on. Now there's another voting token, which is the LP tokens that you use to farm these tokens. You can use those to vote as well currently, but those are not permanent. This is the permanent governance token for voting. So that pretty much explains the whole protocol. Let's swing over to the UI and click around and look at some of the buttons and stuff, and I'll show you what Beefy is farming. Okay, so here we are on the bDollar.finance website, and you start at the homepage, right? And it gives you a little explanation, a little dashboard, and it gives you the 3 tokens here, and it gives you price feeds and circulating supply and total supply, everything right up here up front. Okay, if you want to buy this token, you want to buy this one, you click here. Now, it's currently selling at 1.3. This will keep going up as more and more people buy it. And you can watch the boardroom for the epoch as this gets down to 0. Once it hits 0, then this will usually reset down close to 1. So don't buy it if this says 1.10 or 1.15. It's a bad time to buy. You can just wait for a couple hours and it will go back down to close to or right to 1. Okay, and then you can buy then. Okay, so if you want to buy tokens, you can buy them here. Now, shares. As you can see, the current price is 323. When I started looking at this, it was at 222. It was like yesterday, about 24 hours ago or so, and now it's at 320. I heard somewhere that it was at 1900 when it first came out or something. So like I said, this token is very volatile and it's a bit risky. So be cautious if you're going to be buying this. Circulating supply is only 4,000 and the total supply 85,000. Now this is pretty surprising that there's such a small amount here. Now maybe this can be voted up and increased as demand grows. And here's the bond token. You can't currently buy it, but because the price is above $1, like I said, when this goes below $1, then you can start buying bond tokens. Okay. So over to the boardroom. In the boardroom, it shows you where you would stake your your share tokens. Okay, you would stake them here and you would get those extra bDAO that are minted and that are not given to redeemed bonds. Now current APY is this. Now what does this mean? This is because there's not a lot of bonds, right? And it keeps going up. So the price keeps going up. So they keep having to rebase it. They keep having to mint more and more and more. And they kind of want that. Like it's almost to the total supply here. But anyhow, they want to mint more and more and more. So when this goes down to 0, they will mint a whole batch and they'll give it to these guys. Okay, so this gets up quite a bit. 9,000, I've seen it up at 9,000. So consider that. You can stake your B tokens in here or your SB tokens in here and you will gain bDAO tokens. Okay, now there is 2 little features here you should pay attention to. bDAO tokens withdraw 6 epochs for each new deposit. So 6 times 6, 36 hours, right? So it takes 36 hours for you to get your bDAO tokens back out, okay? And it starts over each time you put a new deposit. If you put one in, it's like a new 6 hour, okay? Rewards are locked after 3 epochs from the first claim. So these rewards, they'll be locked for 3 epochs. So 3 times 6, 1 day, right? Roughly, okay? About a day. So that pretty much covers this part, and you can see all these little features. I talked about this expansion rate and so forth. Okay, so over to the banks. Now the banks are some places where you can just put other things in to gain some tokens. If you want to gain some bDAO, you can deposit DAI or Link, or there's APYs here. You can stick tokens in here and gain some. Okay, you can put these LP tokens in and gain a little bit more. So it's like 700%, almost 900%. 1000%, but that's not the crazy stuff. Okay, the crazy stuff is in here, shares. So this is the thing that Beefy is, that I showed you on Beefy. If you go to Beefy, they have these ones and these ones. These blue ones with the crazy APYs, these are these guys. Okay, so what they're doing is they're staking bDAO. So this the share tokens versus BUSD, or bDAO versus BUSD. So you go to PancakeSwap, you deposit them in there, and you then bring the LP here and you stake it here, and you will get bDAO tokens. So if you use the Beefy instead, they will do this for you. They will harvest these bDAO tokens, and in both cases, they will sell some of them. In this case, they'll sell them all and rebuild more of these LP tokens and stick them in here. And in this case, they will sell half of them and rebuild this LP and stick it in here. Okay. So one of the key things about this, why would you put it in Beefy and not put it here? If you want more of these bDAO tokens, if you believe in this protocol and you want these tokens because you want to gain the boardroom rewards, then you should stick it here. If you just want high APYs, maybe consider Beefy because it's selling the tokens and it's kind of maintaining the price. Okay, so the price of this token here, it hasn't moved for 6 or 7 hours. So I believe that Beefy and supply and demand. So there are people who are using Beefy and selling this token. And then there are people who are like, no, I want that token. And they're staking it. Okay. They're staking it in the boardroom and they're, farming this and staking it for more of those bDAO tokens. Okay. So this is a decision you can make if you want to do it. And then, like I said, bonds are here, but you can't buy any bonds right now because the price is over $1. But when it goes below, you could buy some bond tokens. Now, this last part, I'm not going to click in here. It's just a link to some other projects that are the people who made this protocol make some other stuff. So you can go there and check that out as well. Okay, so go down here, check the audit, check the Medium, check the Discord, ask questions all in here. You can go through all this and be careful. And let's back to the Beefy. So why am I doing this and why aren't I doing that? Because I basically just want the APY. I'm taking a big risk here. Like this is not tons of money, but I get donations, so I feel that I can take these kinds of risks because it's, my viewers, you guys have given me donations to take these kinds of risks and try things out and, test the water, so to speak, and learn about it as well as test the waters. And this is the way I believe. This is what I think is the right thing to do. So I'm going to try this and see how it goes for a few days. And, I'm going to watch it carefully. I'm watching this quite carefully. Like when I first got in here, this was at 50 billion%. Now it's at 400 million%. That's a huge difference. Now, the other thing, why did I put more into this than into this? Because there's no impermanent loss here. Well, there is, because, this might go to 1.2 and the US dollar will stay at $1. The BUSD will probably stay closer to $1. So there is a possibility of impermanent loss, but not as bad as this. Like this SB token, like I said, this one, it could go up to 400, 500, 700, 900, 1,000, 2,000, who knows, right? It could go down to $10. I have no idea how fluctuating this is going to be. There's no record, there's no history. It's quite volatile. So I put less into this one, but the APY was substantially higher when I did it. Now they're equal. So now I'm kind of wishing I just put it in here and played it safer. Okay, but anyhow, well, it's an experiment. This is what I'm learning about. Okay, so you can come and check out these things and see what you like. Like I said, I will put links to everything in the description, especially this Medium article. Read this, read through all of the Medium articles and get a good understanding of what's going on. And good luck and play safe. And thanks for watching. Goodbye. Hello, thank you so much for watching, and if you'd like to support the channel, there are a few ways you can help me out a lot. Number one is I have a Gitcoin grant. This is a pretty unique way to help out. Basically, the way this system works is if you supply me with any kind of donation, then the protocol itself will also match your donation with like an increasing amount the more and the more the people donate to me. So for example, if you were to give me 1 DAI, the protocol will give me 4 DAI, which is great, so your 1 DAI can go a long way. So please feel free to come here and check this out. Link to this will be in the description. Another way you could support me is by going to YGift, link in the description. And here, where this says collect for me, it would say tip. You tip this, and you could give me some YUSD if you want. And that would definitely help me out quite a bit. Another way you could support me is you could check out my Rarible store and purchase an NFT. Now, the best kind of support is just you watching my videos and liking them and subscribing. So if you did that, thanks so much for doing that, and goodbye.